The Lost Little Dragon
by Dani James. Drake was stubborn. He liked to do things his own way, without help from anyone. When his mother tried to teach him how to breathe fire, he just ran off to play. When his father took him hunting, he flew off to hunt alone. And when it came time to bathe, Drake would dip his toe in the lake and declare himself clean. Drake was sure that nothing would go wrong, and that he knew better than anyone else.
So he was determined to prove it.
One day, while Drake was flying by himself, the sky suddenly grew dark. Rain poured down and thunder rumbled. Drake tried to breathe fire to light his way, but all that came out was smoke, smoke, and more smoke. A fierce wind whipped Drake this way and that. With no fire, the little dragon couldn't see. He flew into a tree, hurting his wing. Drake gently fluttered down to the ground, but as his feet touched down, he realized the wind had pushed him far away from his home on the mountaintop. Big tears filled Drake's eyes. He flapped his wings, but was in too much pain. Cold and wet, and with no idea how to get home, Drake curled up into the smallest ball he could and began to cry. Why hadn't he stayed with his parents? Oh, how he wished he was safely home with them now. Suddenly, Drake heard a voice. "Hoo, hoo! Why are you crying, little dragon?" Looking up, Drake spied on an owl, perched in a tree. "I'm lost. I thought I could do anything, but I was wrong. I flew away from my parents, and now I don't know how to get to my home on the mountaintop." The wise owl tipped her head, keeping her eyes on the little dragon. "At last," she said, "I will guide you, little dragon, for I am a wise owl, and I know the way well." The lost little dragon thought long and hard. He hated asking for help, but how would he ever find his way home without it? With a big sigh, Drake nodded. "Thank you, wise owl." The two quickly began their journey. Deeper and deeper into the forest they went until they saw a tree moving. "Ah!" shouted Drake in surprise as he jumped back. "Ha ha ha," chuckled the owl. Drake looked closer at the tree and saw that it wasn't a tree at all. It was a green troll. "Dear friend," the owl began, "this little dragon is lost and so very hurt. Perhaps you could help him." Dear me, his wing has been hurt. Come with me. Yes, I have something that will help." Drake followed behind the troll, getting more and more nervous. They were getting farther from his home, not closer. Finally, the trio reached a wooden cabin. Inside, the troll put oil onto Drake's hurt wing. Drake was in awe that he was getting help again. Soon, the three were back on their way, but as they neared the mountain, the trio stopped. "We must go up," the wise owl said. "But you cannot fly with that wing." "We could climb," the troll suggested, but Drake shook his head. His injured wing could not do that either. The three looked around worried. What were they to do now? Suddenly, a tiny head poked out of the ground. It was a mole. "I heard that you were trying to make it to the mountaintop." "I know a way to the top. Follow me." Then he jumped back down into his hole. The three stared at the mole's hole, wondering how they would fit inside. Drake tried when the tiny mole popped up a few feet down the path. "Come along," he shouted. "Follow the holes." At long last, the friends found themselves standing in a cold cave. "These tunnels will take us to the mountaintop," the mole explained. Up and up they climbed, after what felt like hours. An icy blast of wind swept past them from above. "We must be close," Drake yelled. Finally, the friends made it to the mountaintop. Emerging from the rocky cavern, Drake spotted his family's sign. "Mama, Papa," he cried. "I'm home." Hearing his cries, Drake's parents rushed to his side. Drake had never been so relieved. "I'm sorry that I didn't listen," he said. "Thanks to my new friends, I know now that it's okay to get help." Then, turning to his friends, Drake added, "Without all of you, I wouldn't be home." Drake's mama breathed out a flame of celebration. Excited, the little dragon tried to do the same, but once again, all that came out was smoke. Drake was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Mama, can you help me breathe fire?" Mama nodded her head in disbelief. Then, with a smile, she showed Drake what to do. When he tried again, a puff of fire appeared. From that day on, the little dragon took the lesson he had learned to heart. It turned out, asking for help wasn't as bad as he thought. Now, he had found out that asking for help would be a good thing. Come back to Lulu's for more story time.